What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, YouTube? What's the deal? What's the deal? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, I'd like to say I hope all of y'all are vibrating at a high frequency, not letting no negative energy stop your positive energy. And as you can see by the title, the world is sleep, and you see through the lies, through all the bullshit, all of the programs and tactics, and that's why you are getting attacked. That's why you are getting stalked. That's why you are getting targeted. Right? We live in a world, right? We live in this world where a majority of society asks zero questions. They don't ask no questions. They don't question why they're on a loop. They don't question why they have to go to work and repeat the process. They just say, "Oh, that's just life. That's just what it is." They don't ask no questions about the food that they eat. They just eat the food. They're not thinking, how is this going to affect my mental health or my physical health? They're not asking no questions. They get in the car, they drive to work, they repeat the process. That's the majority of society. And I go to work and do all this shit too, right? Or do whatever I gotta do to get money. And I'm not saying this shit as if I'm on another planet, looking at what's going on this planet. I'm on this planet too, right? But the people that ask questions and the people that see through all the bullshit, we are the ones that get attacked. Just think about this, right? It's people that go to work, and you may do all of this shit too, right? But when you're doing this, when you're on your way to work, when you're at work, when you're in the grocery store, when you're doing all these small tasks that a person that is asleep can do peacefully, when you're doing all of this shit, you're getting attacked, you're getting stalked, you're getting harassed to and from, right? To On your way to work, at work, on your way back from work, all of this shit, right? Because you see. And think about this, it's people on this planet, to all my target individuals that deal with all of the harassment on a daily basis, just think about this. It's people on this planet that never experienced any of that, that will never experience any of that because they are asleep. They are asleep. And how are people asleep? You may ask yourself, like, and you may just have a strong soul, a strong spirit to see through the bullshit. You may have a high level of discernment given to you by the Most High, so you see through the bullshit, right? A lot of people are not connected with God for real. They go to church and they just go to church to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to church and this and that. But at the same time, they're not connected with God for real. And at the beginning of my journey, I stepped into Christianity heavy, right? Stepped into because I was already Christian, like growing up in a black household, etc. You know what I'm saying? Being black, growing up in a Christian family, you know, it's gonna be kind of like forced on you, right? But then when you step away and you start thinking for yourself and all this shit, you might step into it more, or you might completely step away from the religion. I stepped into it more, right? And then I realized, like, a lot of the people that's, you know, going to church and portraying to be Christians are hypocrites. So I stepped away from this shit, right? And then it's a whole spectrum of knowledge and information once you step away from the Christianity. It's like you were in a classroom, a 8 by 12 classroom, 8 by 12 feet, and you can learn something in there. But once you step out of that classroom, it's so much information, a whole world. It's a miles of space in each direction of knowledge and information in which you can obtain, right? When you step out of the Christianity, when you step out of that classroom that has you boxed in. And for the people that are getting targeted, most of us have stepped out of the religion, stepped out of the programs, and 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 that could be possibly why we're getting targeted. But for the most part, we see through the bullshit. All these bots and all these NPCs, they're not asking no questions, so they're not a threat. They're not a threat. And for the most part, the people that are getting targeted have the ability to influence NPCs to want to walk in the righteous direction. Because the NPCs are are influenced by anybody with some influence. And all of the targeted individuals, all of the chosen ones, we all have influence. We just may not have the platform. So that's why we get stalked and that's why we get targeted. So we possibly can't get that platform, and they can try to make us seem like we're crazy, or try to demobilize you, destabilize you, right? So you can't influence nobody else to walk in that righteous path. And you can't influence nobody else to do what they're supposed to be doing, or to be righteous, right? The world is asleep, and those who see get attacked. Those who see get attacked, and that should kind of have you like, feeling decent, like you're not a bot. Noise campaigns should have you feel decent, like you're not a bot, right? You should feel good when you're not necessarily saying you should feel good for being targeted, but you should feel good knowing that you're not a bot. All of these people on a daily basis, when you go into the store and you see these gang stalkers, these are just bots. These are literally just bots. They're like background noise in the matrix. They can't wake up. You know what I'm saying? They can't wake up. They can't be better. They can't prosper. They're just doing the same shit. And this video not necessarily about no 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 gang stalkers. It's more so about how the world is. Like, this world is we live in a fake world. Like, we live in a fake world. Somebody will walk up to you and be like, oh, bro, and brother, this and all this shit, and you don't even fucking know me. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? We live in a fake world, because a lot of these celebrities and all these influencers, they promote this behavior, this fake ass shit, this fake energy, and a lot of people can't see. A lot of people cannot see because they're in it. They're in it, and their discernment may be off because the food, they may not have a connection. A lot of people don't have a connection with God. People go to church every Sunday and still do not have a connection with the Most High. I'm not talking about the God of this world that's telling you to just sin and be horrible and just ask for forgiveness and do the sin again, instead of telling you, okay, you did this sin, change your ways so you do not sin again. Instead of saying, okay, you did this sin, ask for forgiveness, I'll forgive you, and you go out and do it again. Go out and do this shit again. I'll just keep on forgiving you. You know what I'm saying? I'll just keep on forgiving you. People have a connection with that God. That's not the real God. That's not the Most High. That's the God of this world. And what else happens in this world? Think about it. What else happens in this world? People get gang stalked in this world, bro, for seeing through the lies and the bullshit. And you think that same God that this world gave you is going to be anything righteous, when it's not like we in a different world. This is the same world. To all the targeted individuals that are getting gang stalked and targeted, we are in the same world that they gave us this Bible, this Jesus, all this religion shit, right? This is the same world that we're getting gang stalked in, though. So that's the God that they gave us in this world, and that God is allowing people to get gang stalked, and people that are not aware of it, that are not mentally strong enough, they unalive themselves, all type of shit. And the God of this world is allowing that to happen. You don't want to have a connection with the God of this world. You want to have a connection with the Most High, which is also within. You don't want to have no connection with the God of this world. And a lot of people don't have a connection with either, because all of the programming, people will be doing bullshit their whole life, and they'll get older and feel like, okay, let me step into this Christianity, this religion. And they already so old, they don't want to accept nothing but that, because their whole life they've been told that religion and Christianity or Catholicism or whatever is the right way to go, religion. And they probably was bullshitting, vibrating low their whole life. They get old, they don't want to go to hell, not even knowing they already in hell. We already living in hell. Think about it, we're already living in hell. All of the celebrities that got their stardom, They had to do some low vibrational shit behind the scenes to get that. And even in front of the scenes to the public eye, all they do is promote the low vibrational shit. And that's what they have to do in order to keep their wealth, etc. We're living in hell. And these celebrities are the people that are used. These celebrities are puppets. If you really seen the people that are running these record labels and they're telling you to do the shit that the celebrities are telling you to do in the music, you would not want to do that shit. Like if you had a white Lucian Grange or one of these record label executives telling you, yeah, you black woman, you shake your ass right there. Yeah, you shake it. You shake it, you be a thought, you be a ratchet. You only use niggas for their money. You black man, you get that gun, you get that 30. You put that 30 on the bottom of that 40 or that 9, and you go slide on their block and kill another black man. Because we don't need y'all outbreeding us. They can't have a motherfucking white man say that shit and you listen and you see that shit, you gonna be like, hell no. You gonna be like, this what it is? Hell no. So they gotta have somebody that you can relate to. A motherfucker with dreads on there telling you to do the bullshit. A female with some fucking Fashion Nova or some shit that you could relate to, or a background that you could relate to, so you get influenced by this shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's going on in the world. And once you get influenced by these celebrities, you start vibrating in that frequency, you're not gonna get attacked. That's the whole purpose of the celebrity. Whatever celebrity has the most influence is gonna get the bigger bag because they're creating the most NPCs. And the more NPCs that are on this planet, the more bullshit that these people are able to get away with. And you seeing through the bullshit, you see that these rappers are doing sacrifices, all this shit. You see through all the bullshit. You're getting attacked. You get targeted for that. That's why we get targeted. The world is asleep. And I'm not really sure what's the purpose of this video. It's just thoughts that I be having though. Like when you think about like this world is really, and a lot of people are in on the gang stalking shit. And of course they're going to deny it. You got whole communities. You go from one area to the next area and they just pass the baton. It's not like you get to one area. That's why you have to move around a little bit. You have to move around. Because when you're in a certain area, a certain county, and they track us through our phones. It's not like they watching you and they track you through your phone. That's how they know where to pop up and just, if you say you got your GPS, or I'm on my way to Walmart, or I'm on my way to the Dollar Tree, they're gonna fill that motherfucking Dollar Tree with bots. If they can get there before you get there, they're gonna fill it with bots. So you get there and it's just crowded. And you're like, what the fuck? It's just crowded as fuck, motherfuckers. You get to the line, motherfuckers. All of a sudden, the lady out there and two people in front of you, all of a sudden, she wants some balloons and shit. They got to blow the balloons up, all this shit. These are bots. This world is fake. And it's just something to think about. Like, this world is really fake. And when I get a good workout in, or like before I smoke and just turn it in, I just be thinking like, damn, this shit is really crazy. You got the powers that be, the government, the law enforcement, all of these motherfuckers, the CIA, FBI, all of these evil motherfuckers lying to the world, to the masses. And like I tell y'all, these people are just puppets. The government, all that shit. The law enforcement ain't shit but the puppets for the politicians, for the lawmakers. The government ain't shit but puppets for these fucking extraterrestrials that are feeding off of this energy. You're getting gang stalked and all this shit. Now you vibrating low. It's an entity. It's a fucking entity, extraterrestrial, feeding off that energy. And I for damn sure seen a fucking reptilian the other day. And this shit had me wanting to just run down the street and just try to fuck them up. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside working on a car or doing whatever I do. You know what I'm saying? Doing my shit. And the motherfucker walk up like, oh, how much you charge? And like I tell y'all, these motherfuckers like the inorganic species, and it could be a reptile too, right? Could be a reptilian. You tell a motherfucker, you talk to somebody, right? And they act like they can't fucking hear you unless you make eye contact. And you get to make eye contact and get the feeling weird. And this motherfucker was like, oh, how much you charge? And I told him the price. And he was like, kept on trying to fucking make, I just put my hands up like, no. You know what I'm saying? I turned my head the other way, start shaking my head, and start doing my hands like the shoe, like, you know. I'm like, no. Hell no. And the motherfucker walk down the street. If you don't speak no fucking English, do I look fucking Chinese or Mexican? You don't speak no English. Don't walk up to me actually. And these, everybody you see is not a real person. You know what I'm saying? This was definitely a fucking extraterrestrial. Because I can tell by how I felt afterwards. I felt real nervous. My hands and shit was like shaky. You know what I'm saying? As soon as the motherfucker walked up, it just looked like if y'all seen the movie The Grudge, when the girl, like the bitch that was the Grudge, when she like that with the hair and all this shit, it looked like a motherfucking corpse. And it was an older Asian dude, not like old with gray hair and all this shit. But the Asian dude walked up, he's like, how much? Like, how much you charge? And cause I'm working on the car and shit, right? He walk up, and once I turn and I see the motherfucker, I'm like, ugh. I step back, I'm like, ugh, what the fuck? Just instant dark energy, weird energy. I step back, I'm like, ugh. Then he like, how much you charge? How much you charge? All this shit, right? And I tell him the price. I'm like, ugh, I just, you know what I'm saying? I got a fucking feeling. I'm like, ugh. Tell him the price, and he trying to make eye contact. He's trying to make eye contact with me. Whatever the fuck it is, whatever it was trying to make eye contact with me, right? And I'm telling you the fucking words. I'm telling you the price, how much I charge. And you're, huh? Trying to make eye contact. And when I looked in the motherfucker eyes, when the motherfucker first walked up, and that was the first initial eye contact, I'm like, ugh, I felt immediately like I just seen some nasty shit. Like I just felt like you're a fucking alien. You know what I'm saying? Nigga just felt nasty. Like I just seen some two girls one cup type shit. I'm just like, ugh, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell y'all, these motherfuckers be trying to, and it could be the inorganic species just being fried because they're different species, or these could be extraterrestrials. When you go certain places, or you have an interaction with a stranger, and you're telling them this shit, and they acting like they cannot hear you unless you make eye contact. And once you look the motherfucker in the eyes, you gonna get the feeling weird. You gonna get the feeling less happy. And I got the feeling less happy. I'm like, what the fuck? And as the motherfucker's walking down the street, I'm like, I feel like going and just punching this motherfucker in the shit. Cause I know you like you not a fucking human. You know what I'm saying? But that shit would sound crazy to most people. And that may even sound crazy to you, but I really don't care. You have to know everybody you see is not fucking human. Besides the fact that it's two species, we have the inorganic species, which are the human beings, and we have the black people, the organic species, which is the organic species. We're not human beings. We have a different genetics. We're not human beings. But besides that, we have fucking extraterrestrials walking around in the vessel of a human being or a black person. That's why you have to be conscious of your energy so you can be aware when you come into contact with these beings. Because they here. They are definitely here. Motherfucker walked away, and I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep it cool, because I'm like, why the fuck am I feeling like this? And I'm picking up my equipment and shit, picking up tools, and my hands is just shaking and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I had to take a few deep breaths, and I'm like, that was not a fucking human, right? Because if you was really questioning, had a question about somebody's service and they tell you a price, and then you acting like you can't fucking hear the price, and then they just shoo you the fuck off like, no. You gonna be like, well, I was just trying to, I was just trying to get a, you're not gonna just walk away. Like, you know what the fuck you was doing. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker start, oh, how much? Instantly, I got the feeling weird. You know what I'm saying? Instantly. So I ain't gonna make that too much about that, but y'all have to know that it's reptilians out here. It's all type of shit out here. All right? It's all type of shit out here. And just like you barely knew about the gang stalking program a couple months ago or a couple years ago, and like for all my target individuals, right? Let me say this real quick. We don't know what the fuck is going on this planet. We do not know what is going on this planet. We don't know what the parents the families we were placed in. We don't know what type of agreements these people made. We don't know what type of agreements our elders made. We don't know what the fuck is going on this planet. We just know people are just working to pay for shit, and then they're just dying. That's not how you're supposed to be living life. Just fucking slaving, and you get a 2 day lunch break, and then you go back to work, and then they have these fucking holidays to distract you from the fact that you're working all year to fucking pay bills and repeat the process. If there were no holidays, if there were no fucking entertainment is nothing but entering a state of containment. Because it's two words on the word entertainment. It's two words broken down from two root words. The first root word is enter. The second root word is containment, of a state of being locked, or of something is powerful, is being held back. That's what containment means. So when you take off the con off of containment and you put enter in front of tainment, you have entertainment. You're entering a state of being contained. So all of these TV shows and all of these cartoons and all of the music, all of that is entertainment industry. It's like the music industry. The music is to put you under hypnosis, to program thoughts and behavior into your subconscious mind. And that's the music industry. The entertainment industry is to entertain you, to have you distracted by the bullshit, to contain you, to hold you back unknowingly. So they gotta have these celebrities, these movies, all of this shit. If there was no TV shows and no holidays and you just working and coming home and going to sleep, going back to work, you will see, okay, I'm living in hell. I'm a fucking slave. All I do is give my energy to the system. But they gotta have you entertained with these TV shows. You happy to get off work and go watch your TV show and shit. Oh, I got a TV show. I got a favorite show. You happy to get off work and watch your show. If you was just getting off work and repeating the process, you would see that you're a fucking slave. You're a bot. And a lot of people see that, even if you get off work and repeat the process and all this shit, and you see this shit, you still may be getting gang stalked because you see. And a lot of people don't see. A lot of people get off work and be happy as fuck to go home and watch their TV. That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But ask questions. Why do you have to keep going to work to fucking pay bills? And once you get retirement, you can't do shit but sit on your fucking ass and watch TV. And some people get retirement and they still be working these punk ass jobs at the agency. You know what I'm saying? So we, us, the whole targeted individual community is getting attacked, harassed, etc. because you see in a world full of people that are asleep, you see. And it's crazy to even think like people are asleep. You got the gang stalkers and shit doing the bullshit. Like y'all are just a bunch of punk asses. Literally, y'all are just a bunch of punk asses going around doing the bullshit. They sleep too. So I ain't gonna make this shit too much longer. It's just don't feel away if you getting targeted. You have to know you see through the bullshit. And we live in a fake world. Like all these female influencers with the fake ass and all this shit, with the fake personality, just wants you for the money and all this shit. We live in a fake world, bro. We live in a fake world. Everybody, anything real is gonna get attacked. And you gotta know that. If you're getting attacked, you're getting targeted, you should just stay solid. Just stay solid. Keep on speaking your truth. Keep on being you. Because most motherfuckers are not even themselves. They don't even know who they are. They just whatever is being promoted. Whatever influencer is promoting this, you hop on that trend. You don't even know who you are for real. We know who we are. That's why we getting attacked and targeted. They attack anybody that's anything that's real. Anybody that's real. And I ain't saying real like, oh, you a real nigga. You will pick up a gun and shoot a nigga. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're a real person. You see through the bullshit. You try to vibrate high. You're righteous. We live in hell. You gotta know that shit. We living in a hell simulation. All of the targeted individuals get followed and stalked and harassed by a bunch of NPCs that don't know shit. Imagine that shit. And the NPCs are protected by law enforcement, all this shit by the government. Imagine that shit. And the NPCs be happy to go around doing the bullshit. Just bots everywhere. These are the same motherfuckers eating McDonald's and shit, eating human meat, listening to their fucking favorite rapper, letting the shit program into their subconscious. These are NPCs. They will never know what it feels like to get gang stalked. You know what I'm saying? So in a world full of bots and NPCs, you see through the lies, you see through the bullshit, and that's why you being targeted. That's why we being targeted. That's why. All right, so hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency. I'm gonna make more videos on this topic, but and two, when I get some more energy, I'm gonna talk about. I just wanted to post this for y'all today, and I got something I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. I really want to just, I want my energy to be right for that one, though. I'm gonna sleep on it tonight and bring y'all that tomorrow. But you have to know, man, the world is sleep. The world is sleep, and they probably have ways to measure who's gonna be able to see the bullshit. It's like Rashad Jamal was saying, the dark matter energy. They probably got ways to measure that shit. Okay, your energy levels is high, you're gonna be able to see through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something to be aware, not even be aware of. It's just something to think about. Like we're getting targeted because of our light and because we see through the bullshit. Imagine that shit. Imagine that, like you selling some weed or something, right? And you got two different kinds of, you got one kind of weed. You got a big ass bag of weed, but you putting two names on this shit. You saying this shit is some Girl Scout cookies and this shit is some fucking Gorilla Glue. You just putting them in two different jars. One jar has a different shade on the glass than the other jar. You like, yeah, this some Girl Scout, this the Gorilla Glue. You lying to the whole hood, like to the whole city. Yeah, I got two different buds, right? Somebody fuck around and figure out that, nigga, this is the same weed in two different jars. You got all of the NPCs full, though. They think you got two different weeds on deck. You know what I'm saying? They think you got two different weeds on deck. You got one weed on deck, right? Motherfucker figure out that you got one weed on deck and they get to trying to tell everybody that you got one weed on deck instead of the two. You gonna get to losing money. So this person is now a threat. So now you like, damn, I'm about to have to try to intimidate this person. Intimidation tactic. I'm about to try to make it seem like this person is tripping, like they not seeing that I got two weeds. You know what I'm saying? Try to mess with their mind. I'm gonna have to make it seem like this person, something's gonna happen to this person if they tell everybody I got one weed. You know what I'm saying? That's like them putting these motherfuckers around you, have them following you and shit. It's because you see the truth. You see that this motherfucker got one weed. He trying to tell everybody he got two weeds on deck. And it's just an example, right? You may, if some shit like this really happened in the real life, you probably wouldn't give a fuck, right? But it's just an example. Like, for instance, we see that it's poison in the food, that it's ways to heal yourself naturally without taking the fucking medication. It's ways to get your protein naturally without eating meat. It's all this shit you can do. It's different genetics. It's two different species on the planet. You got all of this information. You know all this shit. And you trying to spread this information to other people. But if you spread this information to other people, the government not gonna make no money off of people being sick because they're gonna be doing holistic healing. People not gonna be able to fall for the bullshit with the religion because you telling them to go into spirituality. You're a threat. You know what I'm saying? You're a threat. People ain't gonna be able to they ain't gonna be able to sell the poisonous meat and all the poisonous food because you're telling people that you don't need to eat this food because of your genetics. You're a threat. So you're gonna get targeted. And you may not even be on some shit like trying to make a YouTube channel and speak out and all this shit and trying to really help people. You may just know some shit and every now and then you have a conversation with a stranger and cause you don't know what you do, right? You may be talking this shit. I may be talking and wake somebody up or not, or put somebody to sleep, right? You may be talking to a stranger, just say some shit like, yeah, I stopped eating McDonald's because I started feeling bad. It's not real, I feel like it's not real food. And that's just all you said. That person heard you say that shit and they stopped eating McDonald's. You just woke them up. And then it's a chain reaction. You may be going around like that, waking people up, and you don't even know you waking people up. But the government knows this shit. The CIA knows this shit. They know who you are. You don't even know who you are. You think your name is Tom or Larry, just a Domino's delivery driver. You don't even know you got a fucking powerful ancient soul, ancient spirit that's been on this planet thousands of years before this English language was even created. This numeric system was even created. You don't even know who you are. Because they lied to you and told you you're just a fucking human that's going to deliver pizzas and try to make it into heaven when you leave here. Try to stay out of hell. The whole time we're already living in hell. And once you see that we already living in hell, that's when you get targeted. A lot of people are getting targeted right now so they won't wake up and see. And I had a thought like, and I'm pretty sure they do this shit because I was out somewhere. Right? It was a black girl, and she seemed like she was kind of intelligent. And I'm not saying that all Hispanic girls are just botted out, but young girls they just be not fucking paying attention, right? And I was thinking in my head like, cause the black girl looked like she was trying to do her shit, and the Hispanic girl was just fucking talking and not paying attention to shit. And I walked out, I'm thinking like, cause the Hispanic girl was about to help me, and I told her like, nah, you doing too much. Like, have her do it. I didn't be like, I wasn't like, well, have the black girl do it, but I was like, yeah, have her do it. You know what I'm saying? You doing too much. And then the black girl came over there. She was like, everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I want, just she not paying attention, yada yada. And then the Hispanic girl was walking away looking, and I'm thinking in my head, the black girl was still being cool because they was friends and shit, right? But I'm thinking in my head like, what if they got this Hispanic around this black girl? And it's just an example. It could be vice versa, based on whatever energy or whoever's not paying attention, etc. Right? But I'm like, what if they got this Hispanic around this black girl just to keep her asleep? Every time the black girl be like, yeah, I think I want to stop eating meat or start working out, the Hispanic be like, oh, girl, you like, let's go get a burger or let's chill. I don't feel like doing that. You don't need to work out. We already look good. All this shit, right? Just an example. And that's just what I saw. The black girl was trying to, I felt like an intelligent energy, and she was friends with a fucking NPC, right? Botted out right there, just talking and shit, red hair, little Latina NPC. You know what I'm saying? And it could have been vice versa, but that's the scenario I saw at the moment. It could have been, and I'm not saying it could have been like it was a different option of what I saw, but I'm saying in a different situation, it could be a black NPC and a Latina with the energy that like you kind of smart. I feel like you kind of smart, but your friend is fucking stupid, right? And your stupid friend could be stopping you from having your awakening, right? And that could be another gang stalking tactic too. You got motherfuckers around you that are just NPCs that are going to influence this low vibrational behavior onto you. You be like, damn, I want to do this and do that, and they talk you out this shit, just like your family. How you can be in the family and shit, they constantly talk you out this shit because they gang stalking you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure they do this shit too. They have gang stalkers around you. Like if you trying to seek friends, or if you before you know about the program, you being friends with people, and they know if you wake up, you're gonna be a threat. So they put people around you that's gonna keep you sleep. And these motherfuckers could be in on this shit. We don't know. Like I'm telling y'all, we don't know what the fuck is going on this planet. We just figuring out the gang stalking program last year or within the last 5 years. But it's not like you're a 5-year-old. You 20, 30, 40 years old, and you said some shit like, oh, I've been getting gang stalked for 10 years. You just realized this shit 10 years ago. Ain't no telling what you're going to realize 10 years from now. We don't know what's going on this planet. You know what I'm saying? We realizing that this shit is a fucking lie. Imagine when we keep on realizing more and more lies. Ain't no telling what the fuck we gonna realize. That's probably why they stalking us and all this shit now, so we can't get comfortable and really sit and think and get these downloads from God. You sitting in your apartment trying to collect your thoughts, and you got motherfuckers ringing shit all through the walls and banging on the walls, all type of weird ass shit to disrupt your peace, disrupt your connection with the Most High. We don't know what's going on this planet. We don't know what type of agreements our elders signed or any of this shit. Because motherfuckers is just sleep, just working and just doing the slow death shit, working and paying bills till they die. We don't know what's going on this planet. When I say that, think about what I'm saying. We do not know what is going on this planet. If we came to all of the targeted individuals, if we see that it's a gang stalking program, and we have to realize this shit for ourselves, we have to put two and two together within the community, the targeted individual community, and be like, okay, y'all see these headlights, that's a tactic, okay, I'm not crazy, that's a tactic, okay. So, okay, they walk into you in the store, that's a tactic, okay. They try to put their kids around you, that's a tactic, okay. We figuring shit out. We don't know what the fuck is really going on this planet. You know what I'm saying? It's just something to think about. We don't know we don't know what these elders signed us up for. The families we placed in, these could be reptilians, anything. We don't fucking know. We just know, yeah, we've been told we have to go to work, pay bills, and hopefully you do the right shit and you make it into heaven so you don't go to hell. We already in hell. We already here. And we see this shit. That's why we getting targeted. It's NPCs. Think about it. Think about it. All my targeted individuals, just think about it. When you drive to your destination and you deal with all of the bullshit, it's people on this planet that don't have to deal with none of that because they sleep. They driving, they chilling. They ain't got nobody tailgating. They ain't got nobody easing in their lane. They ain't got nobody cutting them off and getting in front of them, hitting their brakes. They don't have to deal with none of that shit because they are asleep. They're asleep. They're the motherfuckers that's thinking that I got 2 weeds, but I only got 1 weed. They're NPC, they're not asking no questions. Once they get to asking questions, like, hold on, bro. This weed, this fucking Girl Scout cookies he sold me, it's smoking just like the Gorilla Glue. Once they start asking questions, now they gonna get targeted. Once that NPC walk up to me like, hey, bro, yeah, I bought this Gorilla Glue, and it kind of smoked just like the fucking Girl Scout cookies you sold me. I'm like, damn, okay. Now I'm about to target you. You asking questions and shit. Now I'm about to target you. I'm about to make it seem like you tripping. I'm about to make it. No, you're tripping. That's 2 different weeds. Trying to make it seem like you don't see what you see. You know what I'm saying? Cause you asking questions and shit now. You no longer want to be an NPC. You asking questions. With you not being an NPC, that's taking money away from my McDonald's, my medical shit, all this shit. Because you're going to eat that poison at McDonald's and get sick and have to go to the hospital and get the medication. It's all tied in. Just like you're going to listen to that low vibrational music, it's going to program these thoughts into your subconscious. You're going to want to be a shooter, a thug. You're going to pick up that pistol. You're going to go bust on somebody, and you're going to get sent to prison. It's all tied in. Not even knowing the record labels are tied in with the private prisons. Not even knowing that these fast food restaurants are possibly tied in with these hospitals, etc. Right? Just like the fucking blunt wraps and the weed. I keep using a lot of analogies to weed and shit. I've said, but like just like the blunt wraps and the weed, they both make each other profit. If that makes sense, you gonna need some wraps for the weed. You gonna just like if somebody sell beans and then they sell toilet paper too. That's hand in hand. You gonna eat them fucking beans. You gonna have to take a shit. You gonna need some toilet paper. Right? So those industries are connected. Just like you listen to the low vibration of music and now you want to be a shooter and a thug and you go catch a body, now your ass is sitting in the pen. Those industries are connected, right? They're connected. You know what I'm saying? Just like you wanna eat this bullshit and now your ass is sick. Now you gotta go to the hospital. That's all connected. You know what I'm saying? Noise campaign. Noise campaign. Like I'm telling y'all, all of this shit is connected. You know, all of this shit is connected, and you see this shit. That's why you getting targeted. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna make this video too much longer. I ain't gonna make this shit too much longer. Just know you already know this shit. You already know you getting targeted. It's just I'm just talking right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking, and all of the TI shit, bro. We all need to. I ain't gonna say niggas need to link up, but shit, we all need to, cause we all on the same shit. Like, man, fuck the system, bro. If motherfuckers ought to link up and we all fucking run out the store with some food or some shit, nigga. Niggas gotta do something, man. Shit, fuck this system, bro. Fuck this whole shit. This system, this government, all this shit. Cause like you telling me you want me to be sleep. I feel so good eating the food I eat, not eating meat and all that shit. The little changes I made in my life. So you telling me you want me to go back to eating meat and feeling fucking sluggish and vibrating low? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers want you to be the worst version of yourself so they can continue to do the bullshit. Because once you become the best version of yourself, they're no longer going to be able to sell you medication, promote the low vibrational music to you, promote the witchcraft foods to you. They're not going to be able to do that shit no more. So they want you to be sleep at NPC. And all the NPCs walking around like, yeah, young boy, NBA young boy, all this shit, right? All this shit. Yeah, Twitch, all this shit. They bots. That's why they have these celebrities. The celebrities are just puppets. Cause the white record label really wants you to be walking around talking about a stick and all this shit, so you can be one to kill another black man, another Mexican, right? But if he tell you that shit, you're gonna be looking at this white man like, what the fuck? Hell no. You know? So they gotta hire somebody that looks just like you, just like at your job. The fucking supervisor is not the owner of the company. The owner of the company is a motherfucker that you probably won't listen to. So they gotta hire a supervisor that's gonna tell you what the fuck to do. And you probably won't even see the supervisor. You probably will only see the manager. They hire a supervisor. The supervisor hire the manager. The manager hire you and deal with you. You don't even see the fucking supervisor. Whole time it's the owner that hired the supervisor. You know what I'm saying? These people that's doing that on these record labels, they hire these rappers with the soul and that influence to attract the NPCs, right? And influence the NPCs to be to influence them to be NPC, right? So I ain't gonna make this shit too much longer. And when you see, when you're not an NPC, when you start asking questions, that's when you get it. And you possibly, and it's not no you possibly, a lot of people are probably getting gang stalked right now today, and they possibly will get gang stalked their whole life, so they won't see. And once they start seeing and they wake up, they're gonna just turn the tactics up. It's probably people that was in your life. You try to, oh yeah, I wanna stop eating meat. I wanna start doing this and doing that. And once you start doing this and doing that, you're gonna have your spiritual awakening. Once you have your spiritual awakening, you're gonna start walking in your purpose and become more of a threat to the system. So they gotta keep you around all these fake ass friends that's gonna constantly discourage you from making these changes in your life. Oh, I wanna stop smoking weed, this and that. I wanna start working out, get sober. Oh, don't be no bitch. Hit the weed, all this shit. Hit the weed. You know what I'm saying? Let's smoke, hit the weed. And you keep on smoking, hitting the weed and shit because you think this is your friend all the time, they could be a gang stalker. Because once you stop smoking and stop hitting that weed, you going to fuck around and have a spiritual awakening and get the noticing that you're being gang stalked. You noticing they poison the food. You noticing all type of shit. There's two different species. You noticing all this shit, right? You noticing all this shit. So you got to know that they could be putting people around you to keep you sleep so you don't wake up, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's something to be aware of. Something to be aware of, man. These people go to extreme lengths, all this shit to try to stop the awakening. Not even stop the awakening, just to attack people that see. Just to attack, like I told y'all, and I ain't gonna keep on making analogies, but like I told y'all, if I got one weed on deck and I'm trying to tell everybody it's two, and I got the whole city food, like the government got the masses food, and the people that see get attacked. We the ones that see, that's why we get attacked and targeted and followed and all this shit all day, every day, everywhere we go. It's people that can't imagine this shit. You would tell them, yeah, I'm in the gym working out. I got a motherfucker all on my dick. Not literally, no homo. I'm saying like trying to get me to acknowledge them, trying to walk him, just walking past, back and forth, getting in front of me, working out at the equipment in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Behind me saying little shit. Just little weird. People would think that you're crazy or you trying to make this shit up. Because they are asleep. They don't have to deal with no gang stalker, no none of that shit because they're asleep. Right? Imagine that shit. Imagine you can go to the store and you just go to the store and there's no problem. You ain't got nobody walking around trying to fake be mysterious and shit, acting like they just looking at this shit on the shelf and they don't see nothing else and they just walk in your direction. You ain't got to deal with none of that if you an NPC. Imagine that. And you probably had life like that at one point in time on this planet where you can walk around and do all the bot shit and nobody's fucking with you because you was a bot. Once you get to waking up, you got motherfuckers watching you, trying to walk into you. You can't even put the fucking weight back on the rack. You trying to put the dumbbells back on the rack. You got all these bitches trying to walk in the way and trying to sync with you, looking at you in the mirror and shit. And it could be because a nigga handsome, but it could be these motherfuckers is all gang stalkers. You know, and it's not because a nigga handsome. Y'all doing this shit trying to get in my fucking way. I'm gonna leave the fucking weight right here. It's the middle of the, I ain't even about to walk this. I'm trying to put the weight back. I see all these motherfuckers trying to, all of a sudden, all these motherfuckers want to walk right where I got to put my weight back. I'm putting the weight right here on the fucking floor. Walking out this fucking gym. I ain't know. Because all of you motherfuckers right here, and you, bitch, you been trying to get my energy since I was on the treadmill. I'm over here doing pull-ups and shit. Now you over here trying to walk past, trying to get icon, all this shit. All this shit. Right? It's so much going on in this world that like people are aware, like that we are aware of. That's why we are getting targeted. People are not aware of energy, that you can make eye contact with somebody and they'll fuck up your whole energy just with some eye contact. Right? People are not aware of that shit. They not. That's why it's like, I'll be wearing shades when I go in. I see why celebrities be wearing shades and shit because they have a lot of energy. And if you got all that energy and you talking or making eye contact with a motherfucker just got finished digging in a butt or just beating their meat or some shit or masturbating or some weird shit or, you know, doing some weird shit. And they walk around you, they come to you, and they looking at you in the eye. You gonna feel all that shit, especially if you an empath. You damn near can read their mind. You damn near know, like, nigga, you just did some nasty shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like, bitch, you just did some fucking nasty shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're an empath, you can feel energy. You damn near can read a motherfucker's mind, right? So I ain't gonna make this shit too much longer. It's just all it's like I told y'all. It's we don't know what's going on it. I ain't gonna make this video hella long, but if I do, oh well, right? Because what's normal and what the fuck isn't normal? If when you try to do the right shit, oh, be righteous, do the right thing. We be righteous, we do the right thing, and now we're getting harassed and stalked by the same people that told us to do this shit. You told me to be righteous and do the right shit, and now I'm doing the right shit, and now you're stalked. But when I was selling pills and selling drink and getting drink and all doing all this shit, trying to bust the script, doing all this shit, I was not getting gang stalked or harassed or nothing. That's when I was vibrating low. Now I'm trying to do the right thing, do the right shit, all the right stuff, and now I'm getting gang stalked, harassed. You know what I'm saying? All this shit. They put you in families, your family try to get you to unalive yourself. All of this shit, bro. It's crazy. So, just live your life. Don't let this shit body just live your life. And just be thankful you're not an NPC. Just be thankful. Just be thankful you're not an NPC. You know what I'm saying? Now you see you have an advantage. Most people have a bad day. Right? Most people get tailgated, get cut off. You be in the store you go to the check stand and all of a sudden now this bitch want to get a bottle of liquor. Now they got to go to the liquor counter or go to the liquor aisle and then they come back and ring it up and now it's the wrong size. They got to go back. All of this shit. I just lost my train of thought. Man. But I hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency. Not letting no negative energy stop your positive energy. And don't feel the type of way if you're getting stalked, if you're getting targeted. It's easier said than done, but you just see through the bullshit. That's all it is. You see through the bullshit. You see through the lies and all that, right? You know what I'm saying? You see through the lies. You see through the bullshit. So you're a threat because you can fuck around and get to talking and have somebody else see through the lies and see through the bullshit. And once you see through the lies and see through the bullshit, it's no going back. So I'm not targeting individuals that have had their awakening or that are that are in the process of having your awakening. There's no going back. Once you see the shit you see, once you realize it's gang stalking, it's a gang stalking program, you can't go back to just not knowing about this shit. You can't be getting tailgated and somebody doing one of these tactics and then you be aware of it and then you just forget about the tactic and now it's happening and you just think somebody, you know now. There's no going back. So if you have the ability to influence somebody to want to, for instance, now I'm gonna make a separate video about this, but I can only imagine what Rashad Jamal went through, right? I can only imagine what that nigga went through, right? If and people wasn't really talking about the gang stalking shit when he was online and doing all the lives and all the lectures and all the shit, right? All the lives and all the lectures. Now, if you doing something like that, waking people up that's who gave me my awakening, helped me with my awakening, Rashad Jamal, right? Shout out to the God, free the God. Shout out to the University of Cosmic Intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So if you doing it like that, you got a university and shit, you waking people up like that, and he wasn't really, I'm not sure, but people wasn't really talking. I didn't know about the fucking gang stalking shit at the time. A lot of people wasn't talking about it. They probably was, but it wasn't in my algorithm, right? So just imagine how bad he was getting gang stalked, right? If he online waking people up, how he was waking people up, right? And why I even brought that up, because the information, just some of the shit I learned from him, it's no going back. I can't go back to how I used to live after I had had an awakening, or anybody. That's what I'm saying. It's not just Rashad Jamal but I'm saying with him, he was just really out here teaching this shit. You know what I'm saying? Even with Yaki Awaken, Yaki Awaken even talked about, he didn't say necessarily he was being gang stalked, but he said, because he out here curing AIDS, all type of shit. Yaki Awaken, and shout out to Yaki Awaken too. He helped me with my awakening too, because I didn't know that my people were not supposed to eat meat because of our hydrochloric acid. I didn't know that shit until I ran into some Yaki Awaken videos, right? And he was even speaking on how the government tried to tamper with his brakes and all this shit, cut his brake lines and all this shit. That's part of the gang stalking shit, tampering with your vehicle. This is what they do. This is what they do to our people and to anybody that's trying to wake up. It's not just black people. They fuck with everybody. But we are more of a threat.